Alright, guys, I just wanted to say this. Merry Christmas to everyone, and today we'll actually be discussing the Christmas specials, which is not featured on Disney XD Asia. These episodes are actually called Snow Maniac and Hero's Holiday. So eventually I'm gonna do a short summary only. Alright, so what is Snow Maniac all about? When Abby Snowman decides to turn evil, she decides to freeze the whole town of Mega City. Not knowingly, it becomes into a frozen wonderland. So eventually, when Joey and AP were chasing the Snow Maniac out of town, it began to freeze the whole town instantly. Not knowingly, AP does hate the cold. But after their teamwork has been succeeded to defeat the Snow Maniac becomes frozen. However, due to that, the Snow Maniac actually melts and decides to freeze the whole town. The next morning, Joey felt was actually asleep. Alright, so eventually Abby Feld wakes up very happy and cheerfully, shouting out Joey's name, but Joey didn't like it and wanted to let Abby to bother mom and dad instead. Vivian and Phil Felt were actually mentioned in the episode, but they didn't really have their physical appearance in here. So what's next? After playing in the snow, Abby decides to go in for some hot chocolate. But then her snowman comes alive, not knowingly that the snowman actually grew bigger and decided to rule Mega City. Abby gets a little shocked and worried. While Joey and AP watch the news, sipping their hot chocolate, they noticed that Abby was in danger. After they flew to save Abby, Lumpy's pack of snowmen decided to beat Joey and AP very, very harshly. But not knowingly, Abby told the snowman, why are they doing this? Well, in my opinion, basically it's because the Snow Maniac was actually melted. They decided to rule Mega City and decided to kill Joey and AP for that, you know? So what really happened in the end? During the final battle with the Snow Maniac becomes evil and decides to freeze Joey and AP to death. But not knowingly, Abby got very angry and decides to argue with the Snow Maniac. The Snow Maniac suddenly pushes her to the ground. But then Abby apparently saves her brother by that. By that time, the Snow Maniac melts and Joey and AP were free from the ice block of snow and decided to throw the machine into the sun. So what really happened next is that they had a relaxing time at the beach. Abby tells Joey that Atomic Puppet was so cool. But Joey actually does believe her sister on what she said. So what's my opinion on this episode? This episode was actually kind of fun, and this episode was actually a Christmas special, where this actually does remind me of the time where I watched that episode where Abby was actually the cutest character ever. Even if this is the only episode that she had. She was a major character in this episode only. The rest of the episode, she didn't really had a major role, you know? She never had a major role. So, Pauline was the first person to have a major role in 2 episodes. Erlenmeyer's Revenge and Sword Sister, where Pauline became a superhero. And Abby was actually the second person to have a major role as well. Alright, so next up is Hero's Holiday. When Joey and AP were invited to go to the Justice League Christmas party, AP decides to dream about the time there was an older Joey defeating Mookie. Suddenly, the ghost of the spirit apparently tells AP that these kinds of stories were actually kind of fake. That Mookie never got himself arrested. Well, except in the big shift, he actually got himself arrested for almost killing them both instantly. So what I really think about this episode is that this episode does remind me of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So what I was going to say is that this is actually going to be to be like that, you know, it's like going to be seriously like that. So what happened is that there's actually been like a lot of those kind of things, and apparently what I was gonna say is that there's actually a lot of those things you might want to know. AP was actually such in a bad temper, and this is actually the second time that Joey and AP didn't power out for anything. You know, they never powered up for anything. First being Erlenmeyer's revenge, and this is actually the first time that they never ever fight any villain in the movie. Alright, I think that's all for now, and I just wanted to say this. Merry Christmas to everyone. Alright, and this is me, signing off.